I have referred to your first tweet where you questioned.
No,
Ravi Shankar
the second tweet starts with the flip side.
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Show it to me. You start with the flip side.
Right now my tweet, the controversial tweet.
Yes.
Is this? Amit Shah.
It starts with the flip side. The flip side to that is that you are saying what you are saying.
Okay. The flip side to that is, I don't know if that is the prefix to your tweet.
Okay, fine. Listen to me. Either you have not read my tweet, or people have not. I can show you just now.
Now, fine, Mr. Digvijaysingh, I'm on Twitter, but I'm told
please be on the Twitter.
No, I'm not on Twitter. I choose not to be on Twitter.
I'll be very happy on Twitter.
I can't compete with you. I like people like you dominate Twitter, Mr. Digvijaysingh. Now the controversy.
Not the Modi gang sort of rules the tweet.
Well, I don't know which political gang on Twitter nowadays. You know, you're all fighting each other. Your guerrilla wars you've launched on Twitter, Mr. Digvijaysingh. I don't know. Now can I please?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. The flip side. Then start with flip side and then read that.
You've tweeted. This is what I have.
No, but that we know not been briefed properly.
Amit Shah promises a grand.
The flip side of this is.
Okay. The flip side. It doesn't make any difference to the content.
It does.
The flip side to this is Amit Shah promises a grand temple at Ayodhya. Modi addresses Bihar BJP workers and asks them to teach Nitish a lesson.
Yes.
Next day, and allow me to complete the full statement and my inference which I draw from it.
Go ahead.
Next day, bomb blast at Mahabodhi temple at Bodh Gaya. Is there a connect? Question mark. I don't know. Full stop. Allow NIA to complete investigation, please.
This is in capital letters.
In capital letters. You know, Mr. Digvijaysingh, you speak about Modi, the UP campaign, temple issue, Amit Shah and the blast in the same breath. And then you add this little small legal caveat. I don't know. My direct question to you, Mr. Digvijaysingh, is this. If you don't know, then why do you plant the seeds of doubt? If you don't know, why do you plant the seeds of doubt? First, is that an ethical thing to do?
Have you asked Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad and Mr. Rudy why are they planting the seed of doubt? Why are you targeting me and not Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad?
I think again,
Mr. Rudy.
Well, again, with the greatest of respect, the question has been asked to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad day before on the news hour, and the question was asked to him why you jumped to a conclusion. He has replied that he was quoting what the Delhi police said. My question to you now is: you speak about Amit Shah, UP campaign, temple issue, Modi, and the blast in the same breath, and that is simply, Mr. Digvijaysingh, planting the seeds of doubt in a very polarized country, in a country which is on the edge communally, in a country where we repeatedly said religion and politics should not be mixed with terror. Why are you planting the seeds of doubt?
Arnab, I'll go back to this again. Why is media in partnership with this Sanghi ideology seeding the minds of the people by quoting sources within half an hour of a bomb incident? Why? That's correct. I can show you number of channels which have done it. It is the perception which counts in this country. Again, then, what was the need for Mr. Amit Shah to make such a communal statement going to Ayodhya when the matter is in the Supreme Court? One second.
Deal with it.
One second.
Separately.
One second. Let me complete it. 1 second. Number one, he's himself an accused of creating communal disturbances. He's an accused in a fake encounter case. He then goes to Ayodhya and gives a call of Ram Mandir, which has polarized the body politic of this country.
What does it
I hold Mr. L.K. Advani responsible for dividing the body politic of this country after the Rath Yatra.
What does it have to do with the Bodh Gaya blast?
Because the BJP and some parts and some media channels were linking the Bodh Gaya to the Muslim community without the investigation not completed.
I don't think so. That's your choice.
That's your choice.
I don't think so.
That's your choice.
That you drew.
That's your choice. I waited for 24 hours.
I want a single newspaper headline which actually draws a link between the Muslim community and the blast. You wouldn't find one.
Why, Mr. Arnab? Don't you say Indian Mujahideen are not Muslims? You don't see a connect between Myanmar and the incident taking place being projected by. You may not be doing
never,
that.
I would never draw that inference without facts, Mr. Digvijay Singh.
That you may take the credit, times now, but look at the other channels.
Mr. Digvijay Singh.
When I talk Arnab, responsibly. After you have, the whole media had communalized the whole thing, I had to intervene and put the other flip side of that.
Can I? No, but Mr. Digvijay Singh, now, you have accused the media. And you
Not
have
only
accused,
media.
no, you
I've
accused the
accused-
BJP of
yes.
jumping the gun.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I
But
have.
what about, now my next question to you is, what about the many times that you have alleged motive, that you have made allegations without proof? You can draw all links and inferences, but others
Give
can't.
me one instance. Give me one instance.
You want me to give you one instance?
Yes, go ahead.
I have one instance.
Go ahead.
November 2008.
Yes.
Digvijay Singh.
Yes.
Mr. Digvijay Singh, as you know, I have followed your political career closer than most journalists.
I'm
So
extremely grateful. Would you like my biography?
I certainly wouldn't, but I would like to quote you.
Thank you.
November 2008.
Yes.
Digvijay Singh says, recent Assam blast came at a time when the BJP was in an embarrassing situation after Sadhvi Pragya Singh Thakur's arrest. BJP needed to divert attention. And then you go on to say, I'm just drawing attention to this uncanny coincidence.
Yes.
That's the example.
I drew it.
That's the example.
Yes, I drew it.
So you didn't have any proof. You drew an allegation when it suited you without the facts.
But Arnab, if there is a coincidence, can't I say it's a coincidence?
Till today, 2008 and now it's 2000, is there one shred of proof to link the so-called what you describe as the Hindutva organizations with the Assam blast?
But the fact also remains that on 6 different occasions, the Sangh activists have been involved in bomb blasts. Whether Malegaon 1, 2, Modasa, Makkah Masjid, Hyderabad, Ajmer Dargah Sharif, Samjhauta Express, in all 6 cases, they were the Sangh activists who were involved.
So
and they've been charged.
why is Digvijay Singh right when he draws the inference, but Ravi Shankar Prasad wrong when he quotes the Delhi police?
See, the point is, after the incident, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad did not sort of say that may be a coincidence. He gives a statement.
Now I'll give one more example.
Okay, go ahead.
Chhattisgarh, a state close to your own
Yes.
political turf and
Yes.
the state you know well.
Yes.
Digvijay Singh on June 6, 2013, when visiting the families of the people who died in the Bastar attack, said, Chhattisgarh BJP government is sheltering Naxals for political advantage. He
Yes.
says if Andhra Pradesh and Maharashtra can control Naxalism, why not Chhattisgarh? The ruling BJP is sheltering Naxals for political advantage. That's a sweeping comment.
It is.
That's a sweeping comment.
Because, Arnab.
Again, a comment immediately in the aftermath of the blast.
Arnab, please see the results of 2003, 2004, 2009, 2008 Assembly and Parliament elections of Chhattisgarh. In spite of the fact that Naxalites give a call of boycotting the election, the polling takes place of more than 50 to 70%. Okay. After that, why does BJP polls they get 70 to 80% of votes? Once again, on all such sensitive pollings.
It's an inference. It's a conclusion.
It's a coincidence.
It's a suspicion of Digvijay Singh.
It's a coincidence, a very strong coincidence, successively 2003, 2004, 2009, 2010. Again, Mr. Baliram Kashyap's son is killed in Bastar by the Naxalites. And I believe, this is the general impression, that they had promised certain amount of money to the Naxalites which was not paid, and because of that he was bought and killed.
Again an inference, a suspicion.
Yes, suspicion.
No proof.
Proof? To please ask the people of Bastar whether it's correct or not. One second. Number 2. Similarly, of Rajnandgaon, one BJP leader who was responsible for fixing a deal with Naxalites was again killed. And please ask his relatives whether it's a fact or not.
How do you go by what a relative says? Does that amount to concrete proof?
You see, I'm not an investigating agency here now.
Precisely.
I'm a political man, and a political man has to sort of bring out certain facts which he comes to know.
So, Mr. Digvijay Singh, let me come to the moot point.
Yes.
You are a political man, you are an astute political man, but then are you drawing politics out of these incidents? Never once has it been claimed, Mr. Digvijay Singh, that's one point I want to keep coming to, that an attack, if or if not, whether it is or not directly or indirectly done by the Indian Mujahideen is an act by Muslims. It's by some people of the Indian Mujahideen, active or sleeper cells. Why are you drawing that link? That's one. Secondly, are you suggesting, Mr. Digvijay Singh, that suspecting involvement of the Indian Mujahideen, were it to be the case, after certain inputs in any situation, is maligning a community? And by virtue of doing so, wouldn't you be denigrating the community by equating the two?
Arnab,
There is no link between the Muslim community and the Indian Mujahideen.
Arnab, you are, I don't know how you are sort of arguing on this point. The very minute the name of Indian Mujahideen comes in, the perception going throughout the country is that all acts of terror are being committed by the Muslims. Number one. Number two, as far as the Chhattisgarh Naxalite incident goes, there was a Vikas Yatra of Mr. Chief Minister. 7,000 policemen were deployed to give him protection. But when our Parivartan Yatra was there, there were not even 100 policemen at the site of the public meeting. And from that point to where the incident took place, the only place where the ambush could have taken place was that Ghati, and there were no policemen. How do we say that?
No, but why are you drawing a political link, Mr. Digvijay?
But it's a gross failure on the. Is it not the gross failure on the part of Chhattisgarh government?
Failure is fine. There's a gross failure on the part of the Nitish Kumar government. And you suggest it's a conspiracy?
What I'm saying is that why this thing has happened.
Why are you seeing conspiracies in some cases?
Conspiracy may be there in all cases. In a functioning of governance, there are conspiracy theories going on.
But my
even the point of Indian Mujahideen being projected as the sole sort of executor of all bomb blasts, is there not a conspiracy?
No, firstly, nobody said that, Mr. Digvijay Singh. Nobody has said that.
Why does media, the moment the bomb blast takes place, points fingers at the Muslims?
Well, it only quotes the fact. Of course, it doesn't. Media has never pointed fingers at the Muslims, Mr. Digvijay Singh. I think that's a factually inaccurate comment.
Arnab, the moment you do name Indian Mujahideen, does it mean any other section other than Muslims?
Show me one prominent Muslim voice or leader who has spoken in favor of the Indian Mujahideen.
I'm not saying that.
To the contrary, they condemn it.
Arnab, see, it is a public perception which goes in this country.
End the perception.
We have to. And I
feel there is a perception.
Arnab, this perception will only be killed if everyone in this country, whether media or politicians or political parties or civil society, have to take upon themselves to fight this religious fundamentalism, whether Hindu or Muslim or Christian or whatever, Sikhs. We have to fight this ideology of religious fundamentalism strongly, bluntly, at every level.
Isn't it strange?